Holy apocalyptoli, it's the Going Off podcast with Rap Critic and Muse. Muse, how you doing?
Oh, I'm doing splendiferous. How about you?
Doing all right. Just went to see the Harley Quinn movie yesterday. just to do my research fully on the topic we're going to be covering a little later. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Personally, I as someone who's read the comics. You know what I'm saying? I enjoyed Margot Robbie's performance in Suicide Squad. You know what I mean? Like to the extent I would like to see this person doing something else with this character. It was like a good movie if you want to see a Harley Quinn movie, and an enjoyable action movie in the sense of it gives you cool, glittery visuals that you haven't seen before. You know what I mean? It's enjoyable on that basis of holy shit, the final fight scene is so creative with what they do, and the scene where she goes to the jail and she's using the pop gun thing instead of an actual gun. There are creative scenes and it's a fun character, but it's not it's not exactly this is what I said. I said it's below Deadpool, but above Deadpool too. That's how I feel,
Deadpool and Harley Quinn they have similarities in the sense that, they're very strong characters and you want to see something with them in it. I feel like studios aren't really sure what to do with them, because in both cases, you got Harley Quinn, really strong character. Everyone loves the whole aesthetic, everyone wants to see her in something. Do we really want to deal with the rest of the Suicide Squad to get a movie with Harley Quinn in it? I mean, it's you gotta take the good with the bad. Now I'm looking at it and it's do I really want to deal with all the other characters just to fucking get Harley Quinn? That's not to say I don't know, because I haven't seen the movie. I don't know how the other characters are. I'm sure I'd like them too.
The movie's mainly about her in this one.
Yeah, I mean, I read some of the comics too. The fucking the newer ones,
Rebirth and whatnot. Yeah,
the Rebirth, the fucking New 52. You know what I'm talking about. So I saw the aesthetic and I saw that it was very reminiscent. I saw the whole roller derby thing. I saw the hyena in the trailer. I was like, all right, look. They're fucking banging on all the cylinders. They know what we want. This looks really cool. But the thing about Harley in the comics, though, it's basically just her. There was one run with Power Girl, and they're fun. And if they were actually do a thing with her and fucking Poison Ivy, make them a goddamn couple, give the people what they want.
They had a quick little scene showing that she had been in a relationship with her. So, all right,
Okay.
Yeah.
Like Deadpool. They fucking put him with a group of, ragtag misfits. It's
So there's this crime family that had this diamond that, it's encoded with this code to their Swiss bank account offshore or something like that. And if you can get access to that, you can get, untold riches. The daughter of that clan who was, assassinated by these guys that wanted to find it, she went on this whole revenge tear of, yeah, I'm gonna get really strong. And she becomes Huntress, who's gonna, get revenge for what happened to her. But, she's, so played down that it's kind of they kind of, make a joke out of the idea of trying to get revenge through her story, and being it's really not just what's gonna make you happy. You should just move on and, move on about your life. So I did like that, where it's there's this ditz backstory happening over here, but, that's probably not that good of a thing that you should be doing anyway. But anyway... Let's save this girl who accidentally swallowed this diamond,
Because everyone's talking about, the movie bombed just because it didn't, I guess, make as much as they wanted it to, which
I hate little arguments like that. Yeah.
I mean, it made its money back. It made more than its money back. In that case, I'd say it's a success. It didn't lose money.
And also, can I say this? I think it's a good thing, because, oh, cool, a nice, fun little movie that's definitely not going to get a sequel. Awesome. I just want to enjoy this narrative for what it is,
That's the thing, and like you had said, it's basically her. I feel like, and I'm not the first person to have this thought, I'm sure it's pretty widely shared, that if they would have named the movie Harley Quinn instead of Birds of Prey, it probably would have done a little better. because people know who Harley Quinn is.
Yeah, when I first saw, like, the trailer, like, I mean, I remember for the longest time, there is a Harley Quinn movie coming out, and it's like, oh, cool, and then I saw Birds of Prey, and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn. I thought it was a cute, like, title of, like, that's not what they're naming it, they're actually naming it, they're not putting her name first, it's supposed to be like that, but then it's not that, and maybe that actually threw people off, because they thought it was going to be, like, another Suicide Squad movie, where it's a bunch of people and not just her main narrative, but no, it's just about her, and it's just weird that they put the hashtagged name that you would want to see first. They put that at the tail end. I was like, It was a serviceable film with, like, satisfying action scenes that I felt were, like, planned in a way that I have not normally seen, like, a typical action scene. Like, so many movies are just, like the Furious 5 movies. It's just, like...
I think the charm of the Harley Quinn books is, like, the fact that it's just kind of someone living their life as, like, a supervillain, but, like, that's not their whole life.
Yeah, and I did enjoy that. Like, there was an element of, like, every now and then there would just be some random guy that was trying to kill her. And, like, that would happen in the comics, too. Where it's just like, oh yeah, by the way, Duck, that guy's gonna try to kill us. And, she has to save this kid at the same time. So it's like, I'm not sure if they're here for you or me, but either way, throw this piece of dynamite for me, would you?
To make an actual movie structured like a movie is almost to its detriment. Like, you'd almost rather it just kind of be maybe like a
hangout movie?
Yeah, like a hangout, or just basically a comedy. Like, it doesn't even really need to be like a superhero or like an action movie. Or maybe you could make it like a short series. But to make it a compact movie where how how it's going to be structured.
You have to have a resolution and a plot, that pays off in a certain way.
There's going to be some type of, thing they're going to have to overcome.
Oh, the double cross and the...
there's going to be a double cross. They're not going to get along, and, they have to, like, how these things go, so going in that, you're looking out for that, and when it happens, it's just kind of like, alright, gotta wait for this to resolve itself, I guess, because I know it's going to. Can we just hurry this along,
Yeah. There was, let me see. Oh, who I didn't like was the person who played Black Canary. Oh, man. Is the name, like, Smollett? Like, related to the Jussie Smollett guy? I can't remember. But, like...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and it was just, like, the way she was singing, like, wasn't that strong. And so it was just, like... And I, from listening to the soundtrack, it's like, oh, it's actually supposed to be her. And it's like, but she doesn't have, like, the super powerful vocals that would make something like, oh, when I scream, my voice becomes huge. Believable, So it's just kind of like, I don't believe this. Like, holy shit, if you would have got fucking Mariah Carey doing that role, you know what I mean? That shit would have been explosive. I did not like the main villain, who basically is just like, we don't have the Joker, but we have a guy who's silly like the Joker, and he's doing really weird stuff, and there's one really awkward scene where he, like, tells this one girl, like, who, at least, I don't think I remember them up to this point, where he just goes like, oh, I'm crazy, I'm mad, I'm in my club that has music that's not really that loud for some reason, and he's like, hey, you woman over there with the weird dress, come over here. I'm gonna rip your dress off and make you dance for me in your bikini. Ooh, I'm evil. And it just feels like, where's this coming from? Like, what? You know what I mean? It's one of those, I have to prove that I'm more evil than, the Harley Quinn character who's already kind of evil, so I gotta be even more over the top to make some sort of contrast. Yeah, exactly. And the thing about it is, it would have been cooler if he was instead the played down villain. Like, my villainy is so, evil that I'm, relaxing in my evilness by, like, not even caring and just sending that guy to do this and that. But no, they're trying to ham it up to be like, oh, we got a really silly hero, so we gotta have a really silly villain. It's like, no, play off of that. Like, there's literally a scene where she's tied up in front of the bad guy, and their interplay is one of those things where it's like, Harley Quinn's, she's a psychiatrist, so she's already knows what his problem is, and she's, dressing him down and all that sort of thing. It's like, this would have been so cooler if the villain was, like, actually chill and trying to act like he was in control of the situation. And then it's just like, she's calling out all his, mental issues or something like that, and he's going like, well, like that would have been funnier. Instead, it's both of them trying to ham it up, but it's like, the better actress is, and then I found out it was fucking Ewan McGregor. I was like, ugh. I'm like, what? What are you doing? I thought you were better than this. I'd personally give it like a 3 out of 5, 3.5 if you're a Harley Quinn fan specifically,
From seeing the music videos of the singles from the soundtrack, I was really looking forward to it, the visual aspect, so I'm glad to hear that kind of carries over, and it's not just in the music videos,
Yeah, it was actually really satisfying to go see the music videos after I'd seen the movie, because it was like, oh, I did want to see those scenes again. Those are really cool.
Something they did really well with some of the music videos was they made it just look like it was taking place in the world of the movie.
Not like, those 90s music videos where it's like, it's on a TV
cuts
screen.
Back and forth. The music video for, I think it's Build Me Up Buttercup from the Mallrats soundtrack.
Oh, I don't remember that.
It cuts back and forth between movie footage and, like, Jay and Silent Bob dancing, but, like, every so often they'll hold up cue cards of, like, obligatory movie shot. Like, they're just calling out the fucking script and the formula back in, like, 94 of how, like, how tired cool. and cliche it is. It's worth checking out, and the fucking cover's pretty catchy, too, from what I remember. We got a couple albums we're going to be talking about. We're going to go ahead and start with the listener request because it's older and it's not the main event that we've been talking about up until now. We're going to save that, but we got the album Awful Swim.
Awful Swim.
Awful Swim by Malesio Mel Sotelo Jr. And if you have an album that you would like to request us talk about, head on over to our Ko-fi. That is ko-fi.com/goinoff. One-time $40 pledge, and we'll talk about an album you'd like to hear us talk about. Review in full, cover to cover, front to back, top to bottom. And something of note, I think that's worth pointing out before we get started, that this person also requested, back in the day you might remember, our Ski Mask the Slump God.
Oh, is that a fact?
Album. And it's funny, because as I was listening to the Awful Swim album, I did think of the Ski Mask album. But, spoiler, the Ski Mask album is infinitely more interesting than this one.
Oh, wait, you want to hear my review? Are you ready for my review? Wait, are you ready?
Oh, yeah, let me hear.
That's basically my fucking review. Holy God.
I don't know what else to add to that.
So concise.
That's fucking perfect, dude. Like, alright, okay, look. There is a subgenre of rap music right now. It's a lot of the younger kids doing it where it's just, I'm just saying random bullshit.
Just fucking turn on the beat and I'll just freestyle and whatever comes out, we'll use the first take.
Exactly, and sometimes it sounds dope. And, I'll even say, that's basically what the Ski Mask album was, too.
I mean, didn't Denzel Curry do that? But he's, talented. Because he freestyled that whole album, remember?
Yeah.
But like, if someone told you that, you'd be like, oh shit, that was freestyled? Whoa, okay.
I wouldn't have been able to tell that from Zoo. Absolutely not, because that still is one of my favorite releases of his. By the way, people, if you haven't checked out the fucking EP or whatever he put out...
Oh, with Kenny Beats?
Oh my god, it's so good!
Haven't gotten to check it out yet.
It's great, and there's a long-form music video on YouTube where it's videos for all the songs in one music video.
I always love that.
And they use a different animation style for each song. It's so good. It's so funny. It's really worth checking out. Yeah, the thing with Ski Mask and Denzel is that you can make that formula, that format, work for you if you've got a dynamic personality.
You're exciting.
If you've just got something unique about you, if the beats are particularly banging, if the fucking shit slaps, then, like I've said before, if you've at least got a dope beat or if you've at least got a dope flow, the rest of it can kind of lay off a little bit. Like, you can do with one of them and it can kind of carry it. If you don't have any of that, that's a problem. And when on this album, the strongest aspect of the songs are your beats,
Absolutely.
and even they sound generic as fuck, like you've heard them a million times, what is there? What is there to listen for here? The lyrics are subpar. The attitude is like this tired, sleepy, I don't give a fuck freestyle off the dome, just saying some random shit that doesn't mean jack shit.
Yeah, like, I wrote, like, the first line is like, nigga, I'm on the way to Milan, hair long just like Mulan. And it's like, I know you just did that because you said Milan, and then, that's Mulan, that's the next thing you could think of. But, like, wasn't the point of her story was that she cut her hair short?
She cut it off!
Like, this is like the very first track, and I'm already like, what are you doing?
It's disappointing when your most... Well, actually, I was going to say most memorable lyrics. When the only memorable lyrics are, like, pop culture references, because nothing else sticks at all.
There's one line, again, he does, like, the hair long, like, thing more than once. It's like, that's not really that impressive, especially more than once.
Like, I really like this one line because it was a reference to something, and it was a pretty dope line. It was in, Boozy Fade. They hoped I died, overdosed on that leader. One less lonely N-word, like I'm Bieber.
Justin Bieber, yeah, I thought that was clever.
That was good.
And that's what you need to carry an album like this. It has to be like, maybe you sound like really drunk and like you don't care, but the things that you're saying are so weird and off the wall that it brings you in. Like, whoa, who's this guy being so lackadaisical, but he's saying all this weird shit. That's what brings you in, but most of the time, it is boring.
It's so boring. It's just dull.
I wrote down, like, this is fucking weed pop-up shop music. You hear it when you're, in the background, when you're buying some weed, some dude who just sounds blazed out of his mind, on the blunt, hair long like Sephiroth. And like, that's the general sound of, people buying weed. Alright, fine. You know what I mean? Everyone's just tired and we just gotta want to get back to our pad so we can smoke the shit.
We recently went into a head shop just for some incense. That place is just straight up reggae.
Dub and shit, hell yeah.
It's all fucking reggae and dub. You see there was a poster for a music festival on the window. Check out, Bad Fish, the Sublime cover band, and, Slightly Stupid. And it's like, oh man, I recognize way too many of these band names, and I know it's just gonna be the most, like, everything is gonna sound the same. But, man...
Yeah, this album...
What else is there? I hate that, man.
Like, it is sad. We're reviewing a Harley Quinn album, and Rico shows up on this shit.
Oh, man! I didn't even think about that.
Like, what? I was so like, oh, come on, what are you doing?
That was,
slumming it through this track.
Oh, man. That was a point of contention for some people on the Birds of Prey soundtrack that Rico Nasty was nowhere to be found. And yeah, lo and behold, he shows up on Awful Swim from 2 years ago. Yep.
And the thing is, it's like, her verse actually wasn't that bad. Like, there was one or two lines where she was like, laying in a Cali King, I used to sleep on sofas. Life was like a nightmare, I'd pray that shit was over. Like, okay, just a little bit of allusion to her life or whatever.
She was a highlight on this,
yeah, but it just immediately went back down to the same old shit. And it's like,
yeah.
What is the point of this? I got to the song Only You, which has like that little guitar in it at one point. It's kind of cool, And I just happened to see that there was a music video, and I scrolled down to the comment section, and someone was like, speed it up. You know how YouTube has the thing you can speed it up by like 1.2 or 1.5. There's like, if you speed this up like by 1.5, this shit is lit. And I sped it up, and it's like, it actually works, but it doesn't in the original format because this shit is fucking slow and boring. It's just like, holy shit, like, dude, did you listen back to this shit? Like, were you interested in this as you were listening to it, bro? Like, as you're recording it, was this fucking lyric? Ladies, put your face down. Hoes, put that ass up. And, oh man, just nothing. What was that one lyric? It was in Throw It. She like, hey, yo, Poppy, is my ass fat? I'm like, hell yeah, girl. I still bought her more as She like, Daddy, I want to get more black. Took her to the Caribbean and got that bitch more black. Throw it back. Yeah. And as I heard the throw it back, like, I immediately thought, wow, there's a song by Missy Elliott that just came out last year called Throw It Back that is way more fun and interesting than this. Like, the fucking 20-year party rap song veteran is still making better joints than this. Like, what's going on? You know what I mean?
You know, I will say, the end of the album is actually where it gets pretty okay.
Beat-wise, yeah.
Dragons... I thought that was okay. I thought She Used To is the best song on the album. But yeah, it's way too late by that point. You're already in track 13 and 14. The last 3 tracks are the best tracks on the whole album. And you gotta sit through about 30... You about have to sit through a half hour to get to those tracks, and it's not worth that journey, dude. Yeah. It's really not.
There's, like, I think Thought Night, maybe that's a good club song, you know, big strip club song.
Thought night.
And you in the background, you hear this guy just going, wow. Like, it just sounds like he's just, like, so impressed with the booties before him.
It's always those tracks, man. Like, in the context of it, it really does just sound like someone's impressed by the song, and it's like, that's impossible. Yeah. That can't be the case.
And I think Passion and Dogma had an interesting beat, you know. There was one beat where, like, it started off sounding like, oh my god, this is gonna be something different. What the fuck? He's got this chilly-ass, airy-ass shit going on. And then he just starts talking, and it's like, oh, never fucking mind. Yeah, it was killer. Yeah, there was this really sweet, chilled-out beat. Oh, but his fucking glacially paced, offbeat fucking flow. And the goddamn auto-tune, oh my god.
Killers is the worst track on the album, hands down. You fucking got the Sephiroth song earlier, and then you got Killers here, where you actually took a sample from a Final Fantasy VII soundtrack song, and it sounds dope, and you don't do shit with it!
Yeah, like, holy shit, holla at your boy Megaran, like...
I got a 2, how about you?
I got a... Wait, let me go down. I got a 1 at best.
Ooh, yeah.
The average was like .6363, but I was like, at the most, maybe, like, oh yeah, you know, at a strip club. But even then, like, it's so boring. You know what I mean?
But moving on, we got the soundtrack to Birds of Prey. I saw people who were saying that they don't know how to promote the movie, and that's why it didn't do so well. These fucking music videos to these singles, they got me so interested in the movie.
Dude, right? Holy shit. When I saw I saw the first music video, the one with Megan Thee Stallion, probably the best song on this album, and I was so goddamn hyped.
My favorite, hands down, fucking Boss Bitch, Doja Cat. Oh my god. My only complaint is that it's too short.
Yeah, I did feel that as well. There was 1 or 2 tracks on here, and that one was one of them where it was like, what? You're not gonna continue rocking that beat? But it just felt like, alright, we gotta get to the next song that, you know, we can try to sell, you know?
If Boss Bitch had a remix with someone else on there adding a verse,
would have lit the club on fire.
Oh my god, it's so good. My second favorite, Sway With Me. So we and Gal Sara. Oh man, that fucking beat and that sample is fucking incredible.
It was made for, like, and as I was listening to this album, it really did feel like they got a good soundtrack right for a Harley Quinn movie, you know? Like, the soundtrack works for what this is, you know what I mean?
The fucking energy, right.
Yeah.
I also liked with Sway With Me. I'm a sucker for this. Someone on that track says they're the most wanted in Gotham. When you incorporate the lore or whatever of the movie in the songs, yes!
I love that! Like, fucking, I think the absolute best soundtrack song for any comic book movie that needs to be measured up to is the Riddler song by Method Man. That is the absolute best one. Like, say what you want about that movie. That fucking song is perfect.
Yo, that fucking the songs on the Black Panther that are like name dropping Killmonger and shit.
Yeah.
It's fucking world building.
Right.
I love that. I love thinking that the people on this album are actually like super villains in Gotham. Yeah. That's so fucking rad. I love the thought of that.
And fucking who wouldn't want Megan Thee Stallion as a goddamn supervillain, especially with her fucking verse? Oh my god.
Possibly the best music video, too, is the Doja Cat one. The fucking outfit they give her is like a spiral.
Yeah.
She's got the bat. Oh my god.
And I think they used my favorite scene in that video, so it's like, I fucking love it.
Then from there, I would say my next favorite would have to be Joke's on You by Charlotte Lawrence.
That one was cool. It felt slightly underwritten.
Well, see, that's the thing we're about to get into. When you fucking lead with Boss Bitch, Megan Thee Stallion, and Normani.
Which,
and
I think
Saweetie.
Diamond should have been fucking first, because that was, goddamn, the height.
And I was under the impression that this was going to be all rappers.
Or at least
because
mostly.
you lead with that.
Yeah.
And then the next one to come out was the Charlotte Lawrence single. I'm like, okay. So it's all going to be women, though. Okay. So it's all women musicians, not rappers. Okay. I guess I can deal with that. That is unfortunate because that would definitely give a platform to a lot of people who the general listening audience might not be familiar with.
Maybe like a baby mother or, someone like that,
Man, you could have got fucking Young
Enrico.
M.A. on here.
There was one like whack-ass
Enrico
rapper
Whack on here.
later on this album where I was like, oh, is that Young M.A.? And I was like, nah, I'm pretty sure she's better than this.
Yeah, they get the best tracks on this album, in my opinion, out of the way really early.
Oh, most definitely.
But, I gotta say, with the exception of So Thick, that song can fuck right off.
No, I wouldn't be.
Whipped Cream
After
and
hearing-
Baby Goth, no.
No, sir. No, sir. They purely went with that just because of, to fit the Hot Topic sort of aesthetic. You know what I'm saying?
You can skip over that track to get to fucking Diamonds. No hesitation at all.
And then I really enjoyed Smile. I enjoyed the way the pre-chorus changed things up into that different level with the "No more Mrs. Sweet and Nice," the way her voice messed up and you heard the echoing happening. I thought that was a cool little flip there. Taking notes from the Billie Eilish aesthetic that's going on right now. I'm with it. You know what I mean?
I thought to follow Smile with Lonely Gun was did I just hear this?
Yeah.
But fucking Halsey, dude.
Okay, right?
Oh,
wait,
man.
We're in agreement on this. That was kind of Flames, right?
Oh my god, it was dope!
Okay. Just, holy shit.
Halsey's energy is so fucking... She's on fire.
I loved it.
Dude.
Pretty as a car crash, ugly as a lullaby. You really want to try it? And when she gets experiment on me, oh my fucking god,
man.
Yeah, this shit was fucking intense.
Oh my god, by the time she's screaming at the end of it, it's just
And this was the other track where I was like, no, would you stop?
We just saw Poppy live in concert a couple days ago, and she was fucking screaming her lungs out. I kind of wish she was on here. Especially because that last album is all metal and shit. It would have been a really nice change of pace on the soundtrack. But I would say the worst track, if I could just go ahead and skip down to that. And when I say skip down, I mean all the way down. Hit me with your best shot. What?
Let me tell you something. This trailer fucking music, this trailer sound of making really sad, somber covers of 80s songs, get it out of here, man. And it was so not what this movie was trying to be. Holy shit.
What the fuck? Why would you try to make a sad, somber song made for a trailer with the opening lyric, "You're a real tough cookie with a long history of breaking little hearts like the one in me"? This is not the song for that. What are you doing?
And they tried to sell it so hard.
Yo, I wasn't fucking with that at all.
No. If you're gonna do that, you need to do it real smoky and sexy or something like that. Not this cold, mechanical, all the pieces are coming together in a serious plot movie. Now, this isn't that type of fucking movie. The two above that, I also did not enjoy. So, there was the It's a Man's World cover.
That's okay.
No, that was boring as shit, dude.
Boring, yeah.
I thought, as soon as I heard her sing the, It wouldn't be nothing without a woman or a girl. The lifeless way she sings that. And I was like, I immediately was just thinking, like, I want to listen to the James Brown version, because this sounds way better.
Oh,
because it wouldn't be nothing, not one tiny little thing. I want to hear that. Like this fucking, because, in order to make something that's a cool cover, it has to sound lifeless and drab and shit. It's like, come on.
Why are they hiding the boring covers for the end of the album? It's like they were ashamed of them.
And my thing is, this was supposed to be the Black Canary song. The song that's supposed to show how powerful her voice is. And it's just a nothing song,
Yeah, I don't get that.
And the I'm Gonna Love You Just a Little Bit More, like, I was so confused, like, hearing the Barry White music. I was like, what's happening?
I did like the little jazzy intro, but it lost my interest pretty quick.
Yeah, it was just, what was the point? It was just a dead zone after Invisible Chain, which I do want to say, as I heard that song, I really enjoyed that one, especially the odd melody on the hook. Where she sings, it's like there's something where she like goes the opposite way, where you think like it would the melody would resolve, and it was just like, whoa, that's really cool. And in the verses, you hear like her building a certain intensity. You hear her voice scratch a little bit at one point. It's like, why wasn't this the chick who played Black Canary? Like you have it right before the boring ass "It's a Man's World" song. It's like, what? What the hell was Danger? Well, I'm crazy, bitch, but I'm that bitch. I was like, yeah, come on.
That's the thing. The beat was cool. I liked the flow on it, but there really wasn't much content there. Yeah. And then by the end, where it's just, who's ready? Like,
like, are we trying to make this a rock song now?
Like, I did like how it was like, it's a trap beat, but it also kind of rocks, like, in the background.
Yeah.
I liked that it was kind of layered with that. And I also liked how on Bad Memory, I like the instrumental on that one. Kind of like rough-sounding drums on that.
And you know what I was thinking as I heard that when I was thinking of the Out Utero album we listened to a couple weeks ago?
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, this has, this may not be a great album, but it has a little bit more variation than what was going on that one. So, I'm going to give it points. You know what I mean?
It falls back on expectation, formula, and I guess just like what the expectation of this shit is, because the soundtrack, from what you're telling me, kind of has some similarities with the movie.
Absolutely. Actually, maybe it's the perfect soundtrack then.
In what you'd want in a Harley Quinn movie is a movie that's cool, quirky, about Harley Quinn, it's funny, and all that. And on the soundtrack, you'd want it to be full of energy, and you'd want it to be cool and fun all the way through.
And it is at points.
But just like in the movie where it has the forced conflict, we have to have the sad, somber songs for the sad, somber part. It's like, oh my... You don't...
Yeah,
though.
obligations of filmmaking that they feel they have to put in, yeah.
Like, you're not gonna fucking win any goddamn Academy Awards with this. Just fucking make a movie that the audience wants, man. Like, I feel like that's why people aren't going to movies, honestly. Because they unfortunately, like, they know what to expect. They're not spontaneous or unpredictable anymore. What'd you end up getting, though, as a grand total?
I gave it, the exact same thing as I gave the movie 3 out of 5.
Wow. I ended up giving it a 3.5. Boss Bitch probably put it over the top in that regard. Man, where the fuck was this on the Doja Cat album, by the way?
Man.
That about does it for this week's episode of the Going Off podcast. Sorry it's a bit shorter than usual. Gonads, I guess?
That's what happens when you get a fucking boring-ass album for the first one.
That's what you get. Not when you let your heart win, but when we're in a fucking primary season and we're not wanting to get political. There really isn't a lot.
We're cutting out the other thoughts.
But unfortunately, there's not really a whole lot going on, like, in music. I know Nicki Minaj has a new single. And
there was the thing about Snoop Dogg talking about Gayle King. But honestly, I saw a video by Adrian Expression who really laid that out perfectly. So I would suggest going to Adrian Expression's channel if you want to know what that whole situation is about.
Actually, I'm going to go ahead and say, for any topic that we don't end up talking about on the show, Adrian probably did a video on it.
Yeah.
Just watch that instead.
Yeah.
Not instead, but also. Please listen to us, too.
That's really good. It was funny, I was on Twitter, and I saw, so Mike Seatown from Dead End Hip Hop, someone was doing, a thing where they're like, hey, Black History Month, I want to promote other black creators, and they promoted, they were adding a whole bunch of people, and I saw Mike Seatown reply with, hey, I've never heard of this Adrian Expression guy, but his videos are awesome, and, Adrian responded with, oh my god, thank you, and then I just responded saying, oh my god, I can't believe this moment is happening right now, just two, YouTube people that I just tangentially know, and, just seeing that crossover happen real quick, I'm like,
it's dope.
You exist.
Crossover.
Yeah.
As previously mentioned, the Father album was a listener request, which should be obvious, but if it's not, if there's an album that you would like to hear us talk about that might be a little out of the norm, maybe an album that we wouldn't otherwise review, or an album that came out and we skipped over it, but you'd still like to hear our thoughts on it, head on over to our Ko-fi. There's ko-fi.com/goinoff. One-time $40 pledge. As a minor reminder, Con Carolina's in May. Give y'all more details when we figure them out, when we iron them out. In the meantime, you can follow us on Twitter for updates. We're pretty good about that.
Yeah, I'm on Instagram at therealrapcritic. I'll be updating you guys on my Twitch streams, which I'm getting more into now. I like doing those whenever I'm done with a certain milestone with the Rap Critic episode. If I finish it, all right, I'm gonna do a stream real quick. So
that's cool.
Yeah. Just have a certain schedule going.
Darren's got the
Station
Head channel.
Got my Twitch channel. Definitely, look out for that. Twitch.tv/rapcritical. My Patreon, where you can join the Discord and talk with fellow fans about music and movies and stuff.
I want to thank you for listening to us, and if this is your first time listening to us, all of our old episodes are on SoundCloud, iTunes, YouTube, and Spotify. If you want to play some catch-up on episodes you might have missed, any one of those will work. And if this is your first time listening to us, and you're still listening at the very end, thank you very much for fucking with us, and I hope you will listen again next week. And until next week, for the Going Off podcast, I'm Muse.
And I'm Rap Critic. And seriously, when's the second half of the Rick and Morty season happening? Quit playing with us, guys.